Okay, so I'm trying to document these things a little bit more. So if you follow me on Instagram at coaster.labs, you'll know that I do a lot of like little 3D printing things. So I thought I'd take a swing at making a little dark ride. So if you've ever been to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, or if you're familiar with the Sally Dark rides, you'll know that they have like a version where it's just a car of two people that's like really tiny, and it's just like a little wagon. It's got two wheels in the back, and it's got the little rail. So while this isn't a single rail like that uses, where it just has like a regular kind of pipe that's been bent, and then it has the bus bars on the bottom. This is more of kind of like a little trough, I guess you could say. So it's got the channel in the middle, and so the reason why it's a channel is because I'm gonna have like a little pin that goes down in the center, and that kind of follows it to keep it in line. Um, Also on the side, I bought some copper tape, and I'm gonna put a piece on each side so that it doesn't have to have a battery inside the car, because that car is gonna be this little guy right here. So I'm not going to put it down on the track right now because there's still some paint that's drying. So I'm using some paint to make the wheel that is powered, because this one is not powered, but that one right there is. As you can see, the little motor. It's a little tiny planetary motor too. I got them fairly cheap on Amazon. I just like chose the cheapest one I could see or I could find. And I didn't really honestly expect anything to come, but it did, so there it is. And it's got a little bearing, and there's a little tab that goes into the channel, and it's on a bearing, little tiny bearing right there. And it printed. This was the first version, and it printed perfectly. And I was really happy with it. I was like, that printed well, almost too well. But anyway, you got this little car assembly, and these are the seats, obviously, and this is a little shell. I glued them together. They're two separate pieces, I guess, because originally I thought, well, I could take them off if I need to take anything off, but I just decided to just make it one piece per se, so I just glued them both together. I sat them, and then I just kind of hot melted it together. The original plan was that I was going to have two bumpers in the back, like two little, like, arms to kind of bump the side as it went along, kind of like the antique cars. But I thought, well, I mean, we could still technically do that. But what this actually is a Q-tip. That's a little piece of a Q-tip there that I just decided to glue on last minute. So I didn't have like a little stick, and it's actually pretty stiff too. It's really good. It adhered to the side of the car really well. But anyway, and then you have the little soldered on wire, and then it just is gonna ride through the channel, and hopefully with the paint that's kind of oil based, it'll make it kind of grippy enough that it'll be able to grip the track. You can kind of see how it's kind of like very wet still, and it'll kind of stay like that. It'll stay pretty glossy. So I mean, yeah, the idea is that it's gonna ride through the channel as I mentioned, and then the motor will power it, and the whole thing will be powered by the bus bars. So the bus bars will then provide power to a little tiny computer that actually fits in the back, just right there in that little cutout. This little cutout right here. Um, and then that will basically, it's a very very simple concept, I guess. So what I'm gonna have once I get them in the mail, hopefully soon, are these little kind of like switches. They kind of look a lot like these little guys over here that you would have like on a 3D printer that I used to print the stuff. Oh, focus, there you go. And so what they have on them is a little wheel, and that little wheel will then, so if you can imagine the track is going this way, and we're looking at it from the side, um, it'll like move with it, and once it gets to something, it'll have a little hill, and it'll click it. So then that will be connected to the little computer, and then so there'll be a little tiny little hill that'll push the end stop, or a little momentary switch, so that it can tell where it is. And so then I'll be able to basically program it to say, okay, when it's turned on, you'll advance until you feel the button being pressed, and then it'll stop. Then it'll pause for a couple seconds, and that'll be like a towing function, and then it'll keep going. Because you don't have, the button is just interfaced with the computer, it's not directly connected to this. So it's going from bus bar to computer, and that branches out to two, where it's the switch looking for that little hump to push it, and then the motor. And then probably add an LED or something, I don't know, just for fun. But the board does have an LED on it, so I probably won't need to really do that. And yeah, so then there will probably be about 4 or 5 of them individually. So this is just a little prototype. Um, yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, there's really not much to it other than originally I was gonna go with the design that Sally has, the Sally Corporation, um, but it was like a weird like triangular shape, and I just couldn't get it right. And I was like, I think I could use more space with the triangular shape, and yeah, it looks actually a little bit better than I think the other one would have come out as. And I actually have like little humps that people can sit in there. Isn't that nice? That's kind of cool. I'm surprised at how well this actually came out, and it kind of looks like a little mouse, I guess you could say. But anyway, then these will be like little pieces. So I'll print a bunch of these with some turns and more straight sections, and I might have. Well, actually, now that I come to think of it, I was gonna put like a little channel so that it can like stay perfectly straight while it's going through the station. But I probably won't need that because I have this little Q-tip thing. So now it'll just kind of keep it in line regardless, because we have a little rod at the front and at the back, so to kind of keep it from really deviating anywhere. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a task to try to find out like how big of a turn or how tight of a turn I can make it, because I don't want to like have the wheel like right up onto the track and then disconnect, and then that's a big whole deal, and then I have to take them off, and yeah. So the good thing is that the way they're being designed, hopefully, the way that I'm going to try and program them is that they won't have to actually talk to each other. And that also means that unfortunately I won't have a way to talk to them individually or as a group, the cars speaking. So usually like the idea is that they would just be essentially autonomous. They'd be kind of dummy chassis or dummy cars where they just look until they get pushed, look until the button gets pushed, look at move and then wait till it gets pushed. I hopefully, I mean, it works pretty well. And with the way that I'm trying to, because this is a little tiny planetary motor, little thing like that. So hopefully, what I'm using will be able to treat it like an LED so that I can slow it down and speed it up, or just have it off completely, which obviously I would need so I could stop it when I don't need it. But if not, then I can just do low and high, low and high. And I can also have it like phase through really quickly, so high, high, low, high, low, high, low. In between pulse width modulation. I'm not sure if you know what that means. But you can look it up. It's pretty simple. It just means like you fluctuate really fast through the high and low voltages, and so it averages out to where you might want. And then you can alter that so it raises or it lowers, and it's a whole thing. But it makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm just complicating things. But yeah. And then was there something else I was gonna mention about it? Well, I'm gonna paint it, and then I'm gonna have like little scenes around it. So I would like to know like what you guys think I should make this. The theme of the dark ride. So it's probably gonna be pretty big. It's probably gonna be like table sized. There we go. And so the original idea was that I would put it in like a desk, where I'd have the desk, and then I would have like a piece of wood around a wooden border, and then I would have the dark red inside of it, and then I'm gonna have like a piece of glass on top of it. But I looked it up, and like custom glass is really expensive. It's like $150, if not more. So maybe I'll just have it on the site as like a little display thing, or I'll get like, I don't know. They probably could find like plexiglass or something. But that's just a thought. And yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna put it on right now. So again, just to review, go over what I said. Uh, yeah, so it'll just kind of coast on through, and it's not spinning pretty fast because the little actual motor is spinning really fast, but because it has the planetary gears on the side of it, it actually spins at probably like maybe like 30 RPM, maybe. That's at 3 volts, and I think I want to say 50 when you put it at 5 volts. It's pretty linear. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I checked, I didn't, and I honestly didn't check, but yeah. So that's the Dark Red project. I've also got another project that's going on. I am making a little mini model. It's not going too well right now, but I'll tweak it and then I'll try to get it done, or maybe I'll scale it up so it doesn't have that many issues of the new coaster Discovery Team is getting, which is Sidewinder Safari, which is a Zamperla Crazy Mouse, the larger version too, which I think is really great. But yeah, I just thought I'd showcase this, make a little bit of like a log to show you the progress on it, so I can maybe have some drive to actually finish all my other projects that I have not finished, because as you know, I have like a 7-foot Starflyer up in my room right now, and it's been 2 years coming and it's still not finished. So it's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Tell me what you think down below. I'd love to know your comments and suggestions if any of you have this idea. I am going to be trying to put this up really soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe down below if you're new, and we'll see you in the parks.